Good morning, students. I'm Sangeeta, lecturer in chemistry, Grand General Section, Institute, GPT Narankar, Semester 1, Subject General Engineering Chemistry, Subject Code 18C 104F. Our major topic is water technology, and today's subtopic is disadvantages of using hard water. Let us recollect what we have discussed in last class. So in last class, what we have discussed? First one, sources of water, types of water, definition of hardness, and types of hardness. So we have studied two types of water, that is sources, surface water, groundwater. Surface water is of four types: rainwater, river water, lake water, sea water, and groundwater, spring water, and well water. Okay. Then types of water. Water is of two types: soft water and hard water. What is soft water? Water which gives lather with soap is called soft water. And the water which does not produce lather with soap and forms white sticky precipitate is called hard water. And what is meant by hardness? The presence of salts in water due to which it prevents the formation of lather with soap. The property is called hardness. And what are the types of hardness? Hardness is of two types: temporary hardness, permanent hardness. What is temporary hardness? It is caused due to soluble salts of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. This temporary hardness is removed by boiling or by adding lime water. That's why this is called as temporary hardness, as this hardness is due to bicarbonates. That's why it is called as carbonate hardness. And permanent hardness. Permanent hardness is due to soluble salts of calcium and calcium chlorides and magnesium chlorides, or calcium sulfates and magnesium sulfates. It means chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. And this is not removed by boiling or by adding lime water. So that's why it is called as temporary hardness, as this hardness is due to other than carbonate salts. That's why it is called as non-carbonate hardness. So these are the four topics we discussed in last class. Okay. So objectives. So on completion of this period, you would be able to understand. So these are the topics we are discussing today. So you have to understand these two topics: disadvantages of using hard water, then definition, formula, and units of hardness of water. Definition, formula, and units of hardness of water. What is the first topic? Disadvantages of using hard water. So disadvantages of using hard water in industries. Okay. So if we use hard water in industries, what happens? Actually, in domestic purpose also some disadvantages will be there. So but that one is not given. It is not in our syllabus. Okay. So if you drink water, hard water, what happens? Okay, our digestive system affects. Okay, so formation of stones takes place in kidneys if you use for drinking purpose. If you use for cooking purpose, what happens? Food will not cook and fuel will be wasted. Then if you use for bathing purpose, what happens? So whatever the dust particles present in our body, it will not be removed off because it will not produce lather with soap. Similarly, if we use for washing purpose, what happens? Dust will not be removed from the clothes. They are also same. So when you add soap to the water, there is no formation of lather. If lather formation takes place, then only dust particles will be removed off. So there lather will not produce. What it will be formed? Precipitate will be formed. Then what happens? That precipitate will go and stick onto the cloths. And what happens? Some spots and stains will be formed on the cloth. So like that, in domestic purpose also some disadvantages will be there. So but in your syllabus only disadvantages of using hard water in industries. So when you use hard water in industries, so what are the disadvantages? So now we will see that. So hard water is not fit for domestic and industrial usage due to presence of soluble salts. So why it is unfit? Because presence of soluble salts. For domestic purpose as well as industrial purpose, it is unfit, not fit. So due to what? Due to presence of these salts. So the main disadvantages of hard water in industries are given below. So we will see one by one. So first one, textile industry. So if at all in textile industry, if hard water is used, so what is happening? So we'll see. Hard water used in textile industry forms spots and streaks due to adherence of precipitates of calcium and magnesium soaps. Hard water also affects shading of colors and dyeing of fabrics. Okay. So when you use hard water in textile industry, what happens? Whatever the salts present in hard water, so what happens? They will stick, adhere means they will stick to the cloth, and what they will form? Spots and streaks, spots, dots, small dots, and streaks, linings will be formed on the cloth. And it also affects shadings of colors. So on dyeing for coloring, then what happens? You will use different color for the fabric. So there what happens? Color will be shaded. So if you want to get dark color, if there some mixing of these salts and colors will take place, total the color will be shaded out. So like that, spots and streaks will be formed due to sticky precipitates, due to this precipitate stick onto the cloth. Okay, same shading of colors will be taking place in textile industry if you use hard water. Then come to the paper industry. So what happens when hard water is used in paper industry? So the salts present in hard water interacts with the chemical used for smoothing of paper. Chemicals used for smoothing of paper and reduces the quality of paper. Some iron salts also causes coloration to the paper. So if you use hard water, what happens? Whatever the salts present in hard water, what they will do? They will react with chemicals, whatever the chemicals we are used for the smoothing of paper. And what happens when they react? The quality of the paper will be decreased. It reduces the quality of the paper. So that means you will not get good quality, you will get bad quality of the paper. If any iron salts are present in water, what they will do? They will give color to the paper. So if you observe the notebooks, so different colors, okay, some white, somewhat cream color. So due to this iron salts only. So iron salts, what they will do? They will cause coloration to the paper. So they will give different colors to the paper. Okay. So the quality of the paper will be reduced and they will get color to the paper if iron salts are present. So this is about paper industry. The next come to third industry, sugar industry. So what happens when hard water is used in sugar industry? So the salts like sulfates, nitrates, carbonates, etc. present in hard water causes difficulty in crystallization. These salts also impart deliquescent, it is absorption of moisture nature to the sugar. Okay, so when these salts are present in water, so what happens? They cause us difficulty in crystallization. How sugar will be in crystal form? That crystallization will not be formed easily. That means that salts causes difficulty in crystallization. And these salts also imparts means gives deliquescent nature to the sugar. Deliquescent nature means absorption of moisture. If these salts are present in water, so what happens? They will absorb the moisture. If they will absorb the moisture, what will become? The sugar will become total solid. Okay, these are the some of the disadvantages using hot water in sugar industry. First, it causes difficulty in the crystallization of sugar and it gives this deliquescent nature to the sugar. Then next come to the laundry. So when you use hot water in laundry, what happens? So hot water, so washing clothes, domestic purpose, already I told no. So same thing here happens. So hard water form white sticky precipitate with soaps due to formation of calcium and magnesium salts of soap. Hard water cause wastage of soap and also gives undesirable spots, streaks and stains to the fabric. So when hard water is used, when water is added to hard water, what happens? Whatever the calcium and magnesium salts present in hard water, they form what? They form white sticky precipitate. Okay. So what happens? So how much soap, whatever the soap you are adding there, that soap will waste, becomes waste, but lather will not come. But what it produces? It produces this white sticky precipitate. So due to that, soap will be wasted and it gives what? Undesirable spots, streaks and stains to the cloth. Okay, so like this, spots, streaks and stains will be formed on the fabric when hard water is used in the laundry due to formation of this white sticky precipitate. Okay, and next come to the fifth industry, that is pharmaceutical industry. That is tablets, injections, whatever the okay, pharmaceutical industry. So when hard water is used in the preparation of tablets, injections, ointments, lotions, etc., produces some undesirable products. So what is the meaning of this? So whatever you want to get, you don't get that product, you get another product. You want to do one thing, you want some this tablet or this ointment, but you won't get that one you, because there also whatever the salts present in the water, they will interact with the whatever the chemicals we are using there. So then what happens? You won't get the desirable product. That means whatever you want, you won't get that one. There's some undesirable product, unwanted product you will get. So this is about pharmaceutical industry. And next come to boilers. So this is also industry, boilers. So what are the disadvantages takes place? So the following disadvantages are observed when hard water is used in boilers. Okay, so first one, bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium on heating forms hard thicky layer of calcium and magnesium bicarbonate, calcium and magnesium carbonates, which act as heat insulator and causes loss of fuel. So what happening when on heating? So boilers means for boiling purpose, for steam generation, we will use big vessels for boiling purpose. So they are called boilers. So on heating, what happens if these bicarbonate salts are present in hard water? So on heating, what happens? They forms hard thicky layer of what salts? Calcium and magnesium carbonate salts. And this thick layer acts as what? heat insulator, it will not supply the heat. So due to that, what happening there? Loss of fuel is forming, fuel will be wasted. So if bicarbonate salts are present, a hard thick layer of calcium and magnesium carbonates will form, and it will act as a heat insulator and causes loss of fuel. Fuel will be wasted. And second one, formation of scales. Second point, what is formation of scales causes unequal heating and produces high pressure inside the boilers. The scales will be formed. Due to that scales, what happens? Unequal heating taking place, and what happens there? High pressure will produce inside the boilers. Direct contact of steam with boiler walls also produces hydrogen gas. So when steam generates, that steam directly contacts with the boiler walls. So due to that contact with the boiler walls and steam, what happens? Hydrogen gas will be produced. So because of these two reasons, boilers may undergo explosion. Okay. So first one, formation of scales. So formation of scales takes place, that means thick layer forming whatever. So due to that, heating will not be equal on all sides. And what happens? High pressure will be produced inside the boilers. That is one reason. And the direct contact of steam with the boiler walls. So when steam is generated, that steam will directly contact with the boiler walls. Okay. What that will do? That will produce hydrogen gas. So because of this production of hydrogen gas and this unequal heating, because of unequal heating, high pressure will be developed in these boilers. So due to this high pressure and due to the formation of hydrogen gas, the boiler may undergo explosion. So these are the two disadvantages of using hard water in boilers, and these two are very important. Among disadvantages of using hot water in industries, separately they will ask, write the disadvantages of using hot water in industry. For 3 marks question, you have to explain like this. Okay. So if you at all write disadvantages of using hot water in industry, anyone you can choose. So either textile industry or the sugar industry, either laundry, so whatever. And next, last one is calcination. So what is meant by calcination? The salts present in hard water deposit on some articles as precipitates. This is called calcination. It is found on taps, pipes, towers, etc. So whatever the salts present in hard water, they will deposit on the articles. So how they will deposit? Like precipitates. Some solid substance will be deposited on the articles. That is called as calcination. So this calcination you will find. If you observe your taps, so taps, some white deposit will be there, okay? And towers, it will be there, and some pipes, it will be there. So that is called as calcination. So these are the some of the disadvantages of using hard water in industry. So what is the first industry? Textile industry. What is happening here? Shading of colors will be taking place and spots and streaks will be formed. Okay. The next, paper industry. What is happening? Quality of the paper is reduced and coloration will be affected. Gets color, paper with color. And sugar industry, what is happening? It affects crystallization of sugar and it gives deliquescent nature to the sugar. And in laundry, what happens? Spots, streaks and stains to the cloth. Okay, and soap will be wasted. What is happening? Pharmaceutical industry, undesirable, unwanted product you will get. Whatever the product you want, that product you won't get. You will get unwanted product or undesirable product. So boilers, what is happening? Loss of fuel will be taking place due to this bicarbonate salts. And here corrosion takes place and this may undergo explosion. Okay, so Next come to calcination. Some due to the presence of salts, precipitates will be deposited on the articles. So that is called as calcination. So these are the some of the disadvantages of using hot water in industries. So that is for 5 marks or explain disadvantages, you will write like that. So write any 2 or 3 disadvantages. So simply you can write like this. It causes loss of soap in industry. What is happening in the industry? It causes loss of soap in industry. It affects quality of paper. It forms spots and streaks on the fabrics in textile industry. It affects crystallization of sugar. It forms scales in boilers and causes loss of fuels. Like that in one word. This is for one more question. Write 2 disadvantages of using hot water in industry, they'll ask. Or write 3 disadvantages. Let write 5 disadvantages. Simply explain disadvantages of using hot water in boilers. Write disadvantages of using hot water in boilers for 3 marks question. Like this you have to explain. Okay. This is about disadvantages of using hot water in industries. Then next come to degree of hardness of water. So what is meant by degree of hardness of water? The amount of hardness producing salts present in definite quantity of water is called degree of hardness. What is meant by degree of hardness? Whatever the amount of hardness producing salts present in definite quantity of water. For example, 1 liter of water. So whatever the amount of mg per liter, these many milligrams of 1 milligram of salts present in 1 liter of water. It is 1 mg per liter, like that. So the amount of hardness producing salts present in definite quantity of water is called degree of hardness, and this degree of hardness is expressed in terms of equivalents of calcium carbonate. So how this degree of hardness is expressed? In calcium carbonate equivalents. Why we are choosing this calcium carbonate as standard for calculating hardness? Due to ease of calculations, as its molecular weight is 100. So as calcium carbonate molecular weight is 100, all of you know, we calculated the molecular weights in second unit, okay? So as its molecular weight is 100. So due to this, it will be very easy for calculations. That's why we are choosing as this standard one for calculating hardness, okay? What is the formula for hardness of water in terms of CaCO3 equivalents? So if you want to find out the hardness of water in terms of CaCO3 equivalents, so what will be the formula? Weight of the salt by gram molecular weight of salt into 100. So whatever the salt weight by then gram molecular weight into 100 you do, you will get the hardness present in the sample. So 1 mole of CaCO3 is equal to 1 mole of the salt causing hardness. So 1 mole of CaCO3 means 1 mole of salt causing hardness. Similarly, 100 grams of CaCO3 is equal to 162 grams of CaHCO3 taken twice. That is calcium bicarbonate. 100 grams of CaCO3 is nothing but 1 mole of CaCO3. If this much grams of CaCO3 is equal to the molecular weight of this molecule. Okay. Similarly, 100 grams of CaCO3 means 111 grams of CaCO2. 100 grams of CaCO3 means 136 grams of CaSO4. Okay. So this is about degree of hardness of water. Then come to units for degree of hardness of water. So what are the units for degree of hardness of water? So parts per million or mg per liter, these two are same. Okay. ppm, part degree of hardness of water is expressed in ppm, parts per million. So what is meant by parts per million? It is defined as the number of parts by weight of calcium carbonate equivalents present in 1 million parts by weight of water. What is the meaning of that? In 1 million parts of water, how much hardness producing salts are present? That is nothing but parts per million. The number of parts by weight of calcium carbonate equivalents present in 1 million parts of water. In 1 million parts of water, so how much hardness producing salts are present is called as ppm. So 1 ppm is equal to 1 mg per liter. Okay, 1 ppm is nothing but 1 part of CaCO3 in 10 to the power of 6 parts of water. So 1 part of calcium carbonate equivalents present in 1 million parts of water. Similarly, 1 mg per liter means 1 milligram of CaCO3 equivalents present in 1 liter of water. And 1 ppm is equal to 1 mg per liter. Okay, so these are the, and different degrees also use: degree Clark, degree French. Okay, degree Clark and degree French also the degree of hardness of water. So but regularly, that means commonly we use these two units, ppm and mg per liter. So all of you understood what is ppm? Is defined as the number of parts by weight of calcium carbonate equivalents present in 1 million parts by weight of water. So 1 million parts of water contains how many hardness producing salts is nothing but parts per million. So 1 ppm is 1 part of CaCO3 in 10 to the power of 6 parts of water. So these are the units for degree of hardness. So what we have studied in this period, so that is disadvantages of using hard water in industry. This one very important. Then degree of hardness of water definition. So what is degree of hardness of water? The amount of hardness producing salts present in definite quantity of water is called degree of hardness of water. What are the units for degree of hardness of water? ppm or mg per liter. So what is ppm? Number of parts by weight of calcium carbonate equivalents present in 1 million parts of water. So what is the formula for calculating the hardness of water in terms of CaCO3 equivalents? This is weight of the salt by gram molecular weight of salt into 100 is the formula. Then come to summary. So what we have discussed in this period: disadvantages of using hard water in industry and degree of hardness of water. Then come to objective type questions. So what type of objective type questions you will expect from this topics? Direct questions. The degree of hardness is expressed in, some degrees are given here. So ppm, mg per liter, French degree, all. Okay. So already I told we discussed ppm and mg per liter. French degree also there, Clark's degree also there I told. So this is also degree for hardness. So answer is D, all. Okay. The next, second question. Water used in industries should not contain the following impurities. So whatever the water we are using in industry, it should not contain which impurities we are asking. Dissolved salt, bacteria, suspended impurities, dissolved salt, bacteria and gases, suspended impurities, colloidal impurities, gases and dissolved salts. So some options are given. Dissolved salt. So option is the last one. Suspended impurities should not present, colloidal impurities should not present, gases should not present, and dissolved salts also not present. Even bacteria should not contain here. So bacteria also should not contain. So answer is D. And next, chemicals present in boiler scales. So in boiler scales, what are the chemicals present? So here, calcium bicarbonate plus calcium carbonate, calcium carbonate plus calcium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate plus magnesium carbonate, calcium chloride plus magnesium carbonate. So what is the answer here? Calcium carbonate plus magnesium carbonate. So answer is C. Next, formation of scales in boilers causes. So if scales are formed in boilers, so what is happening? Okay, increase in efficiency of the boiler, no loss of heat, wastage of fuel, contraction of the boiler metal. So what is happening if scales are formed in boiler? Answer is C, wastage of fuel. So unequal heating will be taking place there. More fuel is required. So wastage of fuel is taking place if scales are formed in boilers. Okay. Then come to the questions. So what type of questions you will expect here? So direct, what are the disadvantages of using hot water in industries? The defined degree of hardness water and write its units. This question for 5 marks, 3 marks or 1 mark. And this question for either 1 mark or 3 marks. Defined degree of hardness of water, 1 mark. Define degree of hardness of water and write its units for 3 marks. Okay. Maximum for 1 mark. This for 1 mark, 3 mark or 5 mark. Okay. Okay, like this, you will get this type of questions. So these two are very important. So this degree of hardness of water, maximum repeated question, and disadvantages for 3 marks, for 1 mark, for 5 marks important. So with this we finish disadvantages of using hot water in industries and degree of hardness of water. So here in disadvantages of using hot water in boilers, one more point, that is corrosion of boilers takes place. So here corrosion of boilers takes place. That point here I didn't write. I forgot to write that point. So what happens when? So how corrosion will be taking place if chloride salts are present in hard water? So what happens? So here we will use very high temperatures. At very high temperatures, what happens? They will hydrolyze at very high temperatures and forms what? HCl. That means if magnesium chloride is present or calcium chloride is present, then magnesium chloride, calcium chloride reacts with water. What happens? Hydroxides and HCl will be formed. So due to the formation of HCl, what happens? Corrosion of boilers will takes place. So we can write here one more point. So corrosion. So here wastage of fuel will be found and boilers may undergo explosion and boilers undergo corrosion due to the presence of calcium and magnesium chlorides. At very high temperatures, they will undergo hydrolyze. That means they will react with water and forms HCl. Due to formation of HCl, what happens? Boilers will undergo corrosion. So that point. Okay, with this we finish disadvantages of using hard water in industries and degree of hardness of water. Thank you, students.